But man, you can see he's all lit up. That's actually a little one. They get a lot bigger. Usually, in most cases. Hello there, and welcome everyone. In this video, we're in Alabama fishing the Cahaba River drainage. The Cahaba River drainage is part of the Mobile River Basin, and the Mobile Basin is fed by 4 major river systems: the Black Warrior, the Cahaba, the Coosa, and the Tallapoosa. And you only have 3 native species of black bass in each of those river systems. In the Cahaba River drainage, you have the Cahaba Bass above the fall line. The Cahaba Bass is an upland species of black bass endemic to Alabama. Endemic means it's found there and nowhere else in the world. The Cahaba Bass and the Warrior Bass are actually the only black bass and the only members of the sunfish family endemic to the state of Alabama. Alabama bass and largemouth bass are native to all 4 major river systems in the Mobile Basin, so they're also found in the Cahaba River drainage. A few smallmouth bass were caught near Birmingham several years ago, but there doesn't appear to be a catchable population in the Cahaba River. And hopefully it stays that way, because non-native black bass would almost certainly hybridize with the Cahaba bass. This video was shot the 2nd week of June, a couple days after the full moon. Most black bass in this part of the drainage have already spawned, and we know this because the soft dorsal, anal, and caudal or tail fins on a lot of fish are torn. I did catch a few males that sprayed milt, so it's possible some were still spawning, but for the most part the spawn is over, and that's when I like using some kind of topwater as a search lure. In this video I'm using a 1/4 ounce lunker lure buzzbait. And I always replace the factory nickel blade on that lure with a larger gold blade. I also wanted to mention my kayak real quick because some people might notice it's different. I actually put a hole in the other caper that was unfortunately near one of the scupper holes, and that is the one area I've never been able to repair. Any plastic I've welded to that part of the hull comes right off because it's under the area where I sit, so all of my weight is basically grinding that part of the hull into the rocks. I am going to try a Kevlar patch with some 2-part epoxy as a last resort, but I went ahead and made the decision to get another kayak because I fish areas that have a lot of rock, and I can't have a kayak with a hole in it. So after looking at the latest and greatest fishing kayaks, I made the decision to get another caper. And I really need to make a separate video about that process, but this isn't just any caper. For those that don't know, Johnson Outdoors made some changes to the caper before they completely stopped making them about a year ago. I guess this was an attempt to cut a few corners and save some money, because it definitely did not improve the kayak. Anyway, you can still find a good used one every now and then online. That's how I found this one, which has the original design. Not only does it have the original design, but this kayak had never been used. The hull didn't have a single scratch, so I drove 16 hours across the country to pick it up, which sounds crazy, but I've had some bad experiences with shipping companies, and this thing can't be replaced if it gets damaged. It's a 20-year-old kayak that they don't make anymore. So that's the story of the new old kayak. I also wanted to apologize for the heavy breathing in the first part of this video. I'm using a new wireless microphone, and it was way too close to my face. I also wanted to thank everyone for their patience. I really appreciate it. I know this channel's been kind of dead. Anyway, I hope you liked the video, and thanks for watching. There we go. Beautiful Cahaba bass. You can see there's no red or orange pigment in the fins. The Cahaba bass and the Tallapoosa bass are the only 2 upland species of black bass that, you know, lack any orange or red pigment in the coloration in the fins. The soft dorsal, the anal, and the caudal fins are just almost translucent there. See you, buddy. There's the bottom of somebody's canoe that didn't make it. These streams, I'm telling you, these high gradient streams in the southeast are no joke, people. You come out here at the wrong time or with the wrong watercraft, this is what will happen. It's pretty amazing right there. Oh, that's beautiful, folks. That's why you never leave your lure hanging off the front of your kayak. Okay. It's another slightly larger Cahaba bass. You can see there's no coloration on the soft dorsal, the anal, or the caudal fin there. Really a good looking fish. See you, buddy. Little one. Might even have been a sunfish. He was big enough to get the hook. Oh yeah, that's a Cahaba bass. That's a pretty good one. The best one yet. And that's a male because he's spraying milt. And that doesn't necessarily mean this fish is spawning. When you see that, I think that's more of a water temperature thing with the males. But man, you can see he's all lit up. That's typical male coloration right there. Boy, that is an awesome fish. I'm going to put him on the board just to well, that fish had other plans, folks. The fish had other plans, and I'm a little rusty. I hate to admit it, but I haven't been fishing a whole lot this year. And I apologize for that. And losing the fish right there. Boy, if that's a Cahaba bass, we're in trouble. He's kind of foul hooked. It's looking kind of Alabama bassish. No, it's a Cahaba bass, but he's foul hooked. Not the same fish. This one is a little smaller. Not quite as colorful. The markings are a little more diffuse, as they say. Beautiful, beautiful Cahaba bass, though. See you, buddy. Glad we weren't around when that happened. Wow, check out that guy. That's why these bass like sitting under these big old hardwoods in the summer. Look at that. That's a juicy fella right there. If I had some crackers, I could eat that sucker. No, I wouldn't eat him unless I was starving. He'll have a better chance up there than he did down here. I'm not believing what just happened. Okay. Not sure if the camera got all that, but basically this guy broke my line, and or the leader, my leader broke, which is 20-pound mono. Yeah, it broke at the knot. Apparently I did not do a very good job with that knot, or the knot was damaged at some point, because that fish should not have. I'm using 30-pound braid and a 20-pound leader because there's, yes, that is overkill for the Cahaba bass, but there's also some large Alabama bass in here. I set the hook there, and the line got wrapped around the blade and the shaft. And if I didn't have that mono on there, that 20-pound mono, if that was just braid, man, that I'd still be trying to untangle that. That's a Bama bass. You can definitely tell the difference if I can tilt the camera here. Very different from the Cahaba bass. You can see those blotches right there, real distinct, and the fish also has a more elongated body shape. You can see, and they are native to the Cahaba River. It's part of the Mobile Basin, so that's why I released that fish. They are native. Just got bit right there, but he dropped it. Felt like a little fish. That's the right kind there. Here's a little roly-poly. Check out the gut on that fella. That's a real pretty fish right there. See you, buddy. There he goes. It's a little chunkster Cahaba. It's probably one of the more colorful ones. See, you got a Dobson fly larva there. Hitch a ride on the inside of my kayak. Pretty cool. That's actually a little one. They get a lot bigger, but I'll get him back in the water. Wow. What was the deal with that? How did he miss it? A little Cahaba Bass. Must have been hiding under a rock somewhere. Really typical textbook Cahaba Bass right there. See you, buddy. Okay, this looks like a Alabama Cahaba hybrid right here. Or I'm gonna call it a hybrid without the, I don't know. Yeah, I'm gonna call that a hybrid. He's got too many blotches, and the body is just too elongate to be a Cahaba bass. But he's got a lot of traits of a, Cahaba traits. You know, the crescent behind the eye. It's got the white caudal fin margins, but I don't think that's a Cahaba bass. I'm like 99% sure that's not a Cahaba bass. In fact, I probably shouldn't even release that fish. Well, he didn't want it, but he got it right in the top of the head. The old Bama bass. See you, buddy. Looks like a good place for a big Alabama bass. I saw him come out from under that rock and eat it. Another Bama bass, 13 or so inches. The little ones have no problem getting the buzzbait, but the larger ones, for some reason, don't really seem to want to commit to it. Just had something boil on it. Another Bama bass. Well, he's been eating good. He's a little chunkster. See you, buddy. That's a Bama bass. And I don't know if y'all were watching what happened there, but I threw it over there to that the base of that tree. I think it's a black walnut. And he's been caught before, fairly recently. I had a little, I didn't engage the reel right away. Here we go. Let's adjust my camera here. That's a 16 or 17 incher. Really, you can see how ragged these fins are, especially that anal fin right there. Hold it up so you can see it silhouetted there against the water. Those fins are tore up. That's from the spawn. Even the caudal fin, it's got a big tear in it right there. That's from the spawn. That's pretty typical, you know, here for early June. And that fish those fins will heal up in a matter of weeks. Usually, in most cases, they won't even look like that, you know, in another month or so probably. I saw that one shadowing my buzzbait. I pitched the worm in there and he couldn't stand it. Come here. So something got a hold of him. Kind of looks like a heron or you know, something with claws or talons. Maybe an osprey or an eagle. Barely got away, buddy. Oh, there's the first largemouth. We got the Cahaba black bass slam. There's the old largemouth.